Oh yeah, and by the way, I gotta stop saying the episode number at the beginning. I noticed I did that almost every episode. I was like, I need to stop.
Okay.
I'm not telling you, audience, what episode this is. You just gotta figure it out.
Figure it out. Just look on the when you click on our show, it'll show you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't you read?
You got to depend on us to tell you everything.
God.
God.
So this is a little follow up on Ellen. She got
Yeah.
canceled, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah, her show got
No
canceled.
way.
I just saw on Entertainment News. I follow Entertainment News,
Yeah.
and I was like, and she had like an apology where she was crying, and I was like, oh man,
What? She had a big show, man. That it'd been on for a long time. Wow.
yeah, they pulled the plug on her, and I was thinking, damn, like
Man, that must have been
everybody.
bad
Everybody's
stuff.
had a horrible boss. Everybody's had a horrible boss. So
Yeah.
if she got canceled for that,
Wow. She had a really popular show. I'm just, like the guests were like top of the line. I mean, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Huh.
yeah, I just
Wow.
saw it, and I was like, wow. I guess you can get canceled for being mean. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
They're gonna come for
It's
Bill Gates. They're gonna come for Bill Gates and Tom Cruise and well,
yep.
even I'll probably edit this part out, but there's a documentary. It's supposed to be like uplifting, and it's Coldplay documentary, but it's got videos of like Chris Martin cussing at the sound guy, like the fucking microphone keeps hitting me in the fucking face. Fix it. And he's like yelling. I'm thinking like they're gonna cancel fucking Chris Martin from Coldplay. Like he was mean to me that one time. I'm like, I might cut this out because I love Chris Martin. I don't want to bring any negative attention to him. So
Yeah.
but man, like you just can't. It's be a fucking super fucking nice person all the time, I guess.
It's
Crazy.
it's the times we live in, my man. You just just can't go around cursing people out like you used to.
Yeah, I think Kevin Hart definitely feels her pain. He didn't. I mean, I don't think he got canceled, but he got close.
No. Yeah, he did.
For
He
saying
did.
something about something gay on. I don't remember exactly the statement he said, but it was like a homophobic slur or something. And he said something, and then that was on Twitter.
He was going to be on the Academy Awards, and they took him away, but then they were going to bring him back, but then COVID happened, and so now they weren't going to have anybody. So that's kind of what happened there.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, he was going to be the host of the Academy Awards, and they were like, "Nope, not anymore, bud, for something you did 10 years ago."
Yeah, that happened to James Gunn too. He almost got canceled. He's the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He said I can't remember what it was, but it was some slur or whatever. It was real minor though, like from 11 years ago, and they were trying to come after him for that. I was like, wow.
See, that's why you got to be like super pumped to be like Trey Parker and Matt Stone, because from the beginning they've been like, hey, we are what we are. We're gonna do what we want to do. We're gonna say what we're gonna say. We're gonna push. We're gonna not only step over the line, we're gonna jump over the line. We're gonna kick the line. We're gonna do.
And then the crazy thing is, they're willing to apologize because they criticized Super Serial about the environment. they were really criticizing the whole like global warming thing, and it's pretty obvious it's global warming. Like, go to Florida, the ocean is taking over the land, the beach is getting smaller and smaller. But they apologized. They're like, there is no such thing as bear pig, and it's like ripping people apart in the restaurant. You're just making up stuff.
It's so Super Serial.
I warned you about bear pig. I love the part where I love he's in the lab and he comes through from Imagination Land portal, and the scientist is like, he's like half man, half bear pig, and the other guy's like, no, more like half bear, half pig man. It's like, what the fuck?
It doesn't really matter.
I went to the Del Taco and I was like, I want to get a number one. I was gonna pay with cash, and I pull up and I'm getting my money ready. And she goes, "Oh, you can't use cash. We have a coin shortage. Haven't you seen the thing?" And I'm like, I look at the sign. It says, "Due to the U.S. Treasury coin shortage." I'm like, "No cash will be accepted." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What is this? The Great Depression? What the is going on?" Yeah, she was like, "Debit card only or credit." I'm like, "What the like? It's like all the crypto guys' dream. Like, no more
Yeah.
cash ever. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, wait,
I
wait, wait,
heard
wait,
about that.
wait, wait. So I can get a $1,200 stimulus check, but I can't use quarters or dimes. I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense. Like, how do they? How does a coin shortage happen?
Yeah, I saw that. I heard about it. I was like, "What? So what happened here? Is it because of the people not wanting to touch the coins because of the COVID? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Like people holding on to the coins, or are they not using the coin? I don't know,
It's a
man.
bunch of homeless people hoarding the coins.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Like, I got plenty of coins.
Well, that's the reason I bring it up because today I was sitting leaning up and I was waiting in line at the grocery store, and this homeless guy walks up to me. I'll wash your windshields and for some change, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, there's like a coin shortage." You and everybody else. And he like walks away all pissed. I was like, "Sorry,
It's
there really is
real.
there is a coin shortage happening." I was like, "I don't have any money.
I'm not messing with you, man.
I'll give
There's a
you
coin shortage.
I'll give you a share of Tesla. Here's 0.001 shares."
Change. Nope.
There's change, but
I
not the
swear,
change you're
man.
looking for.
It's just a matter of time. They'll be carrying around little card swipers,
Little
little
square up things.
squares. Yeah. I'm sorry, God, I don't have any cash. Oh, I got a card swiper. What the hell?
And then it
You got
prompts
a
you
smartphone too?
want to leave a 15% tip?
Dude, quick story. That happened to me. Like, this is a few years ago, but me and Renee were out, uh, just out at one of the clubs or bars or something, and we came out and we were getting ready to go home. And this guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to see some magic?" And we're like, "Oh, sure." A little drunk. He does this whole little magic trick, and he's like, "All right, if you got any donations to give," and I'm like, "Oh man, sorry, dude, I don't have any cash." And he straight up pulled out the little card swiper thing. He's like, "That's okay, I take card." I'm like, "Oh, are you freaking serious?" And I did. I did the little donation. I think I
Oh
gave him
my
like
god.
$5 or something, man. I was like,
Did it prompt you for the tip?
awkward. No, it didn't actually. He just said,
Oh my
I
god.
think it said some kind of a just a payment. It was like a payment thing. How much would you like to pay so and so? And it has his name on there. Like, I
Did
don't
it
know,
make you sign?
$5. Yeah, yeah, the whole thing, man. It took me back. I'm like, wow, you're really doing around doing magic and having people like swipe their cards. It wasn't that good, but whatever.
He was prepared.
Sheesh. Yeah, he was. I know you don't have cash, but looky here. You got a card, don't you? And now it's all about tapping. You know, the new cards all have the little tap thing, so it's not even swipe. Just tap
Yeah.
here and pay me. Like, oh god, it's too easy.
I
It's
was
too easy
thinking
to take my money.
I was thinking crazy changes upon us, and I was thinking about I went to the dealership and I was getting an oil change a few days ago, and the guy goes, "How's she running? She running good?" And I was like, "Yeah, she's running great." And he knocks on the table, the wooden table, like knock on wood, as soon as I said
Uh
that.
huh.
And I was like, that gesture he just did says it all. Like, this says how
Yeah.
shitty the internal combustion engine dealership service model is. I was like, I just had this wave of blockbuster vibes
Uh,
wash over me. I'm like, that'll be $45 just for bringing in your video tape late. Like,
yep.
it's like you guys are gonna be screwed here in a few years.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody gonna be bringing the car in anymore. It's
Don't
like
you want to get your oil changed? I have a Tesla now. Well, I can still change your oil.
there might
It
be
doesn't
something
use
wrong with it.
oil.
Let me check and then
Well,
tell you.
let me. Yeah.
There'll be one
Oh my
thousand
god.
dollars for your brakes. I don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
brakes.
Dude, let me tell you about that. Like, I was wanting to get our car has the sync system where it links up to your phone like it's Bluetooth, but it's the Ford version of it. And
Ugh.
it wasn't working. And I'm like, I
Oh
need to go get
wow.
this fixed so I can, yeah, right. They have I think it's $250 base. No matter what's wrong with your car, you have to pay this to get them to just look at it. Like, and then whatever is wrong with it, they have to fix it, you know, but it's $250 no matter what.
Wow.
I'm like, what the, are you serious? They said that with a straight face. I'm like, so I have to pay you $250 just to bring it in for you to go, oh, well, this is what it is. It's going to cost $1,000. So now it's $1,250. Like, wow, that was
What?
crazy. So I looked up something. I Googled it and it was like, well, just take the battery cables off and put it back on. Totally worked. Like, yeah. So I would have paid $250 for them to take the battery cables off and put them back on and go, yeah, there you go.
That reminds me.
That's $150 labor.
That reminds me. This chick, she's like, "Yep, you got to bring your car in every 3,000 something miles." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And then I get a. This was a long time ago, by the way. A Carfox report comes up on my thing. Your car is da 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 da, and then it says on there, you need to take your car in for an oil change every 10,000 miles. I was like, that freaking chick at the service center lied to my face. You need to bring it in
Wow.
here every 3,000. No, I don't. It's 10,000 miles.
3,000. That's the base of like the cheapest, crappiest car is 3,000. Like even our car, it's it's not a hybrid or anything, but it's at least 5,000. So yeah,
Yeah, I was like,
she was
she
running
just
some scam on you.
yeah. That means I'm coming in 3 times more on average, like from what she
That's
was
what they
saying.
want, man. It's like you said, they want you. That's part of a lot of the money they make is just getting you in there.
So what I did, I just wanted to see if another person would lie to me. So after I found this out, I asked again just to see what they would say. I love price shopping at dealerships and service centers just to see what they would say. He goes, "Yeah, you need to bring it in every 3,000 miles." And he looked me dead in the eye and said that. I'm like, "You freaking liar." Carfox and the Google says I can take it in every
Yeah,
10,000 miles. And
the
I was
Google
thinking,
says you're lying. What? Tell the
Google
Google
Translate,
to kiss
liar,
my ass.
liar, liar, liar.
Liar. I'm detecting a liar
It's like
within your
a
presence.
lie detector test. Like things like scrolling over the wheels.
Ding, 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 ding.
I was thinking, like, their business model is screwed. It really is like Blockbuster. I watched these guys. They
Yeah,
visited the last Blockbuster. They were
in
talking about,
Oregon.
yeah, and they were talking about how long it took them to go in and get their video. It took them like 48 minutes. I'm like, Jesus, like wow, like that's a
Yeah,
long time to be in the store just to pick out one VHS tape. I'm like, good
right.
God, and
I
that's
mean,
with no line.
wow. I miss Blockbuster. I miss the whole experience. But would I want to go back to that? Hell no.
No,
I
it's not
love just
convenient at
being able
all.
to go and say, "Oh, I just like a movie will pop in my head," and I'm like, "Oh man, I haven't seen that movie in a long time," and I can pull it up like instantly.
Hmm.
I don't have to be like, "Oh, let me run up the street and see if Blockbuster even has it." Oh, they have it, but it's not in stock. Ah, crap. So yeah,
They have
it's
that white piece of paper with the name on it, just the name, and it's like,
right.
ah,
Yep. I
yeah,
actually worked for Blockbuster for about half a year. Yep. Back when they had VHS, I was the Be Kind Rewind guy.
I thought you were about to say you were
That
committing
was fun.
crimes. You were just back there like stealing
Yeah,
shit.
right.
They're not
I
gonna
might
notice.
have, or I might not have, maybe.
Don't get canceled, Adam. Blockbuster
Oh,
will come for you.
that makes me think of that South. That's one of my favorite South Park episodes, the Blockbuster one. Oh my god, man, that one's so
People
good.
love renting
Halloween.
movies and looking at
Yes,
movies.
yes. That one's so good.
You know what's
Oh,
funny
it's such a
though?
classic.
There's a lot of parallels with that in dealerships. There's literally
Oh yeah.
people, there's salesmen, they were protesting the whole online sale thing. They were getting on
Oh
there and
yeah.
saying, "Oh, people love going to the dealerships and looking at models of cars and test drive." Like, no,
Yep.
they don't. They don't want to sit there and talk to you for 16 hours and haggle.
It's
Well,
it's
make
like
us see.
Randy.
Yeah,
Any
make us,
day now, they're gonna show up. Gotta get ready. Get the coffee pots. Make sure it's fresh coffee in it.
make sure
They're
the
gonna
fax
they're gonna want
machine's
their coffee.
working.
Yeah. Get everything right.
Make sure all my paperwork is ready to go.
You see the dealer kind of hanging around by the exit, or the entrance. He's like looking off over the dealership. Oh, I see one. He's pulling in. Oh no, he's just doing a U-turn. Oh.
Did I tell you about my
Just like that, man.
did I tell you about my car? So my car's paid off now, but when I bought my Prius, I went in and there was like a deal they had for like so much money down, and a certain percentage on like the interest rate,
Mhm.
do it signing and blah blah blah, you know. And I was like, sure, whatever. And 6 hours in, all of a sudden he comes in, he's like, yeah, well, we couldn't get you at this rate. And at the time, my credit score was in like the 700s, so it wasn't bad. He's like, yeah, we
Yeah.
can get you at like 15.5% interest. I'm like, good God, there was like 5 on the ad. I'm
Jesus.
like, Jesus. And then I
Wow.
got him to lower it down. I was like, can you go a little lower? God, this is just like what everybody says. Let me go talk to my boss and see if I can
Yep.
lower it for you. And they don't even talk to anybody. They just go back there and
Nope.
jerk off for
I
5
will
minutes.
I will tell you, man, I had one of the best car buying experiences from a guy that I worked he used to work at Walmart, and my manager at the time knew him. He worked at it was like a Toyota dealership down the street. I was telling him I was wanting a new car or a used car. He's like, "Oh, go down here, ask for him. He's like straight up. He won't bullshit you or anything like that." And I went down there. I told him, who recommended me to him, and he straight up was like, "Dude, look, I'm gonna get you in this. I got a Corolla or whatever." He did this whole thing. He's like, "All right, here's the price, here's the interest rate. Now I'm gonna tell you that this is all we can do, and you're gonna tell me that I want you to go ask your boss, and I'm gonna go back there for a second. I'm gonna come back and tell you that this is what we can do. We're gonna do this 3 times." And he straight up did that. And like he did this whole fake thing where he walked off and he came back. Okay, I talked to my boss, and he's like, "Okay, what do you say now? Can you go talk to him again?" I mean, it was so funny because he did this whole acting thing.
You know what that reminds me
It's
of?
like,
It reminds me of Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy. He's like, okay, I'm leaving. And he's like
yeah,
stomping
yeah,
away like he's walking away.
yep. I'm leaving. It's straight up like that, man. It's so funny.
Oh my God.
I appreciate it though. I'm like, hey, I appreciate you not trying to, because I know you're not really going to talk to anybody. I mean, it's like, we're going to do this 3 times, and then that's going to be what we get you
He
down
did a
to.
whole stage play. Like,
Yep,
oh my
he
God.
sure did, man. It was awesome.
No, that literally is a script though. That's a script for
Yeah,
the
it
salesman.
really is.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
Like, I don't think we can go any lower, but if you want me to go talk to my boss, I can go do that. In other words, take a break is what he was trying to say. I could use another break.
Oh, so that reminds me. The other day you messaged me about how quiet it's gonna be once Teslas are on the road and
Oh
every other
yeah,
car is
yeah.
EV. And I was thinking, there's gonna be like protests in the streets, "Make America Loud Again." It's gonna be like it's gonna be like a multicultural like Fast and Furious
Yeah.
crowd with signs. Because streets are too quiet. I had that thought because the other day I was getting out of my car and I was bringing in some groceries, and this guy drives by in a Dodge Challenger, and he's like revving and everything. And you know that feeling you get when someone's watching you, like someone's staring at you? Well, I had
Oh
that
yeah.
feeling, and I was like, he's staring at me, isn't he? And he started slowing down and revving his engine. I'm like, he is wanting me to look at him. I'm like, I'm curious. Why would I care about your Dodge Challenger? Like, look at what I drive. I'm like nerd
Oh, dude, you
conservative
should
over
have just
here.
really got into it. Like, wow,
Whoa.
that's so cool.
The very next thing he does, he speeds off real fast. I was like,
Oh yeah.
of course he was staring at me, trying to get me to look at. I'm like, we don't
Yep.
care. And it happens all the time. I'll be in like a parking garage, and it'll be like some balding, like fat dude in his Porsche, and he's like revving the engine. I'm like, nobody cares what you drive, dude. Like, you're the only one that really cares, and maybe the gold digger you picked up at the bar, but no one else cares, dude. We don't care. Like,
Oh, this
I've
is annoying
never went on a
people.
date and the girl comes back. She goes, "Oh, you drive a Prius? Oh, this isn't gonna work out." Like, that's never happened.
Yeah. Well, if
I,
it does, you don't want that person anyway, for sure.
exactly. You don't want someone to be like, "Oh, you live in a 4-bedroom 5-bath? Well, it's not gonna work out." Like, you don't want to
Yeah.
attract the wrong
Sorry,
person.
the gold diggers.
I was thinking like the only person that really cares that much is another guy like you.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, like you
Right.
said, like your brother's like, ooh, I like that engine, I like that spoiler.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They all meet up and like lift their hoods on their cars, and they walk around and look at each other's under the hood. Like, whoa, look at your engine. Yeah.
It's like
My engine's bigger. Oh wow. Look at your engine.
it's like two naive kids showing their body parts to each other.
Yeah.
Like in a movie, you know, the kids are always like playing
Yeah.
doctor.
That's a that's just this whole culture that I don't get. I've never been part of. I've never had a car that I'm like, I want to make this engine super loud and put a muffler on it. I don't understand it. I know it's popular. Like my little brother, for instance, spent $2,000 and $3,000 on his car, just and then it breaks down like a month
And then
later.
he loses all his money and invested into it. You
Yeah,
sent me that photo of that crappy looking red car with a spoiler.
yeah,
And I was thinking, careful, he's got a 0-60 time of 9 seconds. He's got 1% extra handling.
yeah. He was kind of looking over at me like, dude, I'm in a Mercury Mariner 4 cylinder. I'm not gonna try to race you, bud. I'm sorry. Yeah, you
Oh
want
my
to
god.
do this? You want to go? No, I
Oh,
really don't. But
that reminds me. That reminds me. I was coming home a couple days ago, and this person zooms by me like super fast, and like a really ghetto looking 371 Affinity car. It's like a 350Z Nissan, but it's the Affinity version.
oh
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
pull up next to him, like I have to see this person. This person was like literally about to lose control and like wreck and hit the median and everything. I look over at her and I look directly into her face. She is spaced out completely, and in the passenger seat, like her brother smoking a joint. And I was
Oh
like,
dang!
"Oh my god!" And she was not in a hurry at all. There was no sense of hurry in her face, and she was going like
Wow.
70 in a 30. I'm like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" And there was like construction cones everywhere, and
Jesus.
these concrete barrier median things, and I was like, "Jesus, you're like almost died, and you're just spaced out." And I was thinking, I saw this data from the Tesla report on the data wrecks per mile under self driving. It's so
Yeah.
much lower compared to the average national average of a person driving a car.
Oh
And I was
yeah.
thinking, I can't wait till people like you can't drive anymore. I was like,
Yeah.
that was terrifying. Like I was afraid for my life, like getting onto that road and then seeing her come over the hill. Like, Jesus. Oh my God.
Just flying,
And for all I
in
know,
both
she's
ways.
high as a kite. I'm like,
Hell
oh
yeah,
my
man.
god. I
Yeah,
tell you what,
that's
I've driven high, and I do not drive like that. I can tell you that.
yeah.
I
I
dr-
I too, man. I've driven high, and that's been like this. That's the safest I've ever driven on
you
any
will
type of
drive
like.
so safe when you smoke pot
Yeah,
and drive. Oh,
like
make sure I'm going
dude.
64 in this 65.
Hell yeah. Me and a friend of mine were just blazed, and we were coming home from his house, and we were going about 40 on the freeway. I was like, dude, you got to speed up, man. He's like, "What do you mean, man?" I'm like, "You're going like 40, dude." He's like, "Oh, okay." Yeah,
Oh my god.
definitely not the same as like drinking and driving,
No, it's the
which
complete opposite.
yeah,
Paranoid. You're paranoid as
I have to
hell.
say, not proud of it, but being from Arkansas, like when you go out, you're gonna drink and you pretty much have to drive because there's no public transportation, and we didn't have like Uber or anything at the time, and no one catches a cab. No one wants to leave their car. They're just like,
Taxi,
ah, fuck it.
taxi.
Oh, he's the less drunk. Okay, you're driving. That's pretty much how it went.
That reminds me, dude, DUI cases are about to skyrocket in California if Uber and Lyft leave
Oh yeah,
because the new
yeah,
law.
for sure.
I'm gonna register to vote and vote this year for because there's a lot of laws they're trying to pass that are
Excuse me.
taking advantage of COVID. They're just trying to
Oh really?
sneak in some law. Yeah, and I've noticed this everywhere is doing this. Australia is
Hmm.
trying to sneak in some new laws where the media can control YouTube within their like jurisdiction. So like the media, the news media in Australia can get information on like how the algorithm works on YouTube. So then they can just make their videos show up and no one else's and YouTube in Australia. I was
Oh
like,
wow.
that's the last thing I want is logging on YouTube and only CNN and Fox comes up. Like that would piss me off.
God, man. Yeah, that's terrible.
So this Australian YouTuber is
Wow.
like, I'm registered to vote. Get out of here. Get out of the outback. Yeah. And he's like, I was like, yeah, dude, I'm doing the same thing.
Excuse me.
California is trying to pass some BS laws, dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
And plus,
what's the thing with Uber? Like what is it again? They're trying
they
to make them
want
pay
they
insurance
want
and
them to make them employees.
oh,
Uh,
gotcha. That's right.
it's called I can't remember what the law is called, but the anti of the law, the blocking of it is called yes on Proposition 22.
Okay.
Um, but here's the thing: most people that do Uber and Lyft, they don't do that full time, like 10 hours straight.
Right.
They just don't do that. Make some extra money and be flexible and get home to their kid and pick up their kid from school. Like they're not. I've met a ton of Uber drivers, and they love the flexibility of it. Just turn it on and pick you up. So
Yep.
this whole like it's such a small sliver of people like I'm not making as money. I'm going to the White House and picketing, and I'm gonna. It's like these politicians. They're listening to
They
those guys. It's like oh god.
and they put off this vibe like the Uber drivers and the Lyft drivers and the delivery people are just being abused by the companies.
Mm-hmm.
We're being abused by Amazon. They're taking advantage of us. Like, no, man, I'm making some damn good money, for sure. I mean,
Dude, in Hollywood, you meet so many like model slash Uber drivers. Like
yeah,
I got this one ride with this girl I went to a party with. We were not necessarily friends, but acquaintances. And she's like, "Oh, Uber driver's so hot. He's a model." And she started talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm model for Osbrink Agency." Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, "Oh, oh." And he's like, "And he drives for Uber on the side, making those gaps, filling in the gaps." But yeah, I was
nice.
like, that's just gonna screw over a lot of
Yep.
hardworking
Well,
people.
it's that same thing with like I know we're not going to get too into politics, but I just feel like so many politicians and city councils and governor and mayors and they have this idea that I know what's good for you. You don't know what you want. I know what you want. And that's just like, do you really? Have you really actually talked to anybody? I mean, do you or just assume
Yeah,
that
there's this interview. This politician, he goes, I can't remember who it was or whatever, but he was like, "Yeah, we need to make America great again." And he was a Trump supporter. He's like and the interviewer goes, "Oh, so like when was America great?" And he's like, "Yeah, right about 1917." Blah 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 blah. And she's like, "Oh, you mean before women got the right to vote?" And he was like, choking and stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, you freaking jerk!" Like America was not great for everybody in 1917.
right?
Like fuck off.
Kind of
Like
puts it into perspective. Like, what kind of are you saying America's great when it was
some
just like
comedian,
white men?
I can't remember what comedian said, but he's like, time travel is a white man's fantasy. And I was like, yes, because if you're not a white straight man and you
Yeah,
go back in time, it sucks pretty well. The past kind of sucks, period. Like
yeah,
today, a middle class person has way more luxuries and easy access to those luxuries than some king did back in like the 16th century.
yeah,
Like they didn't bathe, they didn't have crap, they didn't have refrigeration, they didn't have internet, they didn't have nothing. So
yeah. But
and
it's just like the the recent past, especially for the older white male. It's like, oh, those are the good old days. You know, we had full reign of everything. We didn't have to hold back anything. you know,
you could just hit a
women,
woman.
right?
Like
Yeah,
you see videos of
dude.
like celebrities talking
Yeah,
about like, yeah, you just hit a woman with your hand closed. I'm like, what? What in the
right.
hell?
Well, you look at movies too, like old movies. They're any kind of office scene in like an older movie. Like, hey, toots. Like the secretary is always this
They grab her
hot
butt
little
and then they
piece.
pour themselves.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they grab her butt and then they pour themselves a glass of whiskey. I'm like, what in the hell? And they're
yeah.
smoking a cigar. I'm like, what the?
Yep.
How'd you get
That
anything
was
done with all your
totally
sexual
accepted.
harassment and
Yeah,
whiskey drinking? I'm like, what in the hell?
yeah. Well, even what was it, American Psycho? That whole scene with him. Hey, don't wear that dress anymore. Wear this one. Wear your hair down. That was common. That was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, whatever you need, boss.
crazy.
Yep.
I was very aware of like the reason too I wanted to vote is like uh, this year is such an important year
Hmm.
because you have so many people trying to scram for control and a lot of bad policies because like people feel the politicians feel the need to go to the extreme. They feel like everything needs to be fixed right now, and that's not good. That's when
Yep.
bad stuff starts happening. It's like, hit the chicken with the hacks. It's like whoa, 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 whoa. Sometimes it's like Obama said. Sometimes the best thing to do is nothing at all. He's like
Yeah.
just get back and observe. You know,
Right.
and I think it's because it's that fear of inaction that they'll be criticized for their inaction.
Yeah.
I think that's why the White House was so quick to sign all those CARES Act and stuff. It's
Oh,
like, oh, we got to
all
do
the executive
something. We got to,
orders.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got to do something. Got to get reelected. Oh my God, And
Yeah, man, it's such a, it's like we talked about before, like, yeah, the presidency, it's this big deal. It's, everyone, it's the biggest thing, the election, but there's only so much the president can do to you personally in your life. And it's more so about your local stuff, like
yeah,
we
and that's
talked
why I
about.
registered to vote. It's mostly just local.
Yeah.
I really don't follow the national stuff too much.
Yeah.
Like I'm
I mean, yeah, the national, they can affect certain things, but more so what's going to affect your daily, everyday routine life is like what California is trying to do with, the Uber and Lyft. That's going to affect a lot of people.
yeah.
A
Think
lot of
about how many
people that
people are
live
gonna be
there
drunk and
personally. Yeah.
not be able to get
Yeah.
back home. Like I'm
Right.
serious. I know I'm making it sound like a joke, but
Oh
there's gonna
no,
be a
man.
lot of DUIs because
Yeah.
no one's
And they're
gonna
gonna
pay
like, what's the option? Like, oh, I don't want to catch a cab. Cabs suck. I don't want to leave my car
$80.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So,
crazy, man. Crazy.
yep.
I just don't see how that's gonna be a good thing.
No, man. And I know that Washington's always going after California too, so I'm just like, oh God,
The
please
crazy
don't.
part is too is like, how do they expect these companies just to change their business model on a dime? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. But they
Yep.
appealed it. They appealed so it could be another year or two before they get any
Yeah, I
type
saw
of
that.
ground. Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
At least there'll be time, buy themselves time
Yeah.
to present their case, I guess.
Well, if any local city councils actually listen to their people, like they don't ever listen to the actual people that show up and say this, we don't want this, and they go like they still vote for it. Like here, they do that all the time. It's just like,
Well,
wow.
I think it's that ideology of like you don't want the majority always to make the decisions. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like the government's set up that way, like where the minority can change stuff too. This is
Yep.
how Donald Trump actually got elected because I don't think he won the popular vote, did he?
Mm. No,
And I think
he did not.
they purposely did that so the majority doesn't always get their way. Sometimes the
Right.
minority gets their way. And
Electoral college, man. No one
yeah, I think
understands it.
the forefathers they kind of wanted a balance of majority and minority. They didn't want
Yeah.
pure democracy.
Right.
I think. Don't quote me on that. Don't come at me, bro. Don't come at me.
That's what we feel like. It's our opinion that.
Yeah, just remember I am really apolitical. So,
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
but I think that's what the
It's
angle
always
they're
it
coming.
always changes though, man. It's always, it's either the 4 years or the 8 years, and then it goes back the other way. It's almost as long as I can remember, like the presidency, it's either the president sucks for the 4 years and then they change to back to Democrat or Republican, or it goes the other way.
Like a pendulum swings back and forth.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It truly is.
And then it's 30 years of cocaine abuse, mayor. And that's totally fine for some reason.
Yeah, what's the like the mayors, there's not a limit, huh? I don't
I don't
think.
know. I don't know
Is
how
there?
that works, to be honest. I
Yeah,
don't know.
man.
I don't
I
even
just
know
know the
who.
presidency is an 8-year limit. That's it. So yeah.
I don't even know who the mayor is, to be honest.
The
In
mayor,
LA.
you don't know who your LA mayor is? I
No.
don't even know that. I don't know either.
Jim Carrey? I don't know.
Schwarzenegger's son? I don't know. But man, yeah, politics, dude.
I was gonna tell you, I was rewatching some clips from Idiocracy, and I had this funny thought in my brain. I was like, if CO2 or something in the air was making us all like collectively dumber, would we know we were getting dumber? Like, because the more dumb you get, the less self-aware you are. Like,
Yeah.
like would we be able to figure out we were getting dumber? Like, oh, me not so bright. Like everyone just feels the same. Like, oh yeah, I can't concentrate as good. Yeah, me no good either. Like, and just like everyone's just collectively getting dumber. And then Elon comes along. He's like super smart compared to us because they're like, he wants to put battery in car.
He used big words. He idiot. He used dumb words. They make no sense.
He reads books.
Battery in car. Well, you'd probably drink water that's from the toilet too. Water like from the toilet. Oh God. That
Oh
movie's
my
so
god. You know, that's
eerily
so
it's eerie to watch, man. It's like
you know what's funny though? The reason that that movie bombed, it's a cult classic now, but the reason it
yeah.
bombed at the box office is because those companies, they saw the movie before it came out, and
Oh
they
yeah.
realized it was making fun of all their brands. Like Starbucks
Yeah.
is, you know, you getting hand jobs at the Starbucks, the Costco, welcome to Costco, I love you.
Yeah.
Like it was making fun of commercialization. And so they were like, "Oh, screw you, Mike Judge. With this movie
Yeah.
cannot come out." So I'm pretty sure this is a rumor, but those companies went to the top at Fox and said, "You cannot release this movie at a wide release." And so Fox got scared and dumped it and
Yeah.
just didn't give it a wide release. I think honestly, it probably would have made a lot of money. It's a funny freaking movie.
It's so
Dax
funny, man.
Shepard. Dax Shepard is perfectly cast. Like he's like watching the TV and he's taking a dump in the
I'm
couch
sorry.
toilet.
Yeah. So I could talk watching this TV. Oh my balls. There's some
There's
shows. There's
oh my
shows on
god.
it that are similar to that made me think of
Oh
that.
my
This
god.
show is like, "Oh my balls."
There's some reality TV show, I don't know what it is, it's like something something fiance, and it's this overweight guy, and they're, like, spraying him down with a hose. I'm like, "This is exactly an Idiocracy." It's this overweight guy getting sprayed with a hose, like 90 Day Fiancé.
What
Like,
was
and he's
that?
like, that's enough, that's enough."
Oh,
I'm like, "What is
Jesus. It's
happening?"
so
Like, this is
scary.
TV.
It's really scary. You look at the popular people on YouTube and Instagram, you're like, "What is
Oh,
this?
don't get me
Why?"
started on TikTok. So
Oh god.
they're banning TikTok because it's a Chinese company. They
Okay.
banned the Hawaii phones. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
I probably just butchered that, but they're a Chinese company as well. It's mostly for national security. And essentially, TikTok is like imagine Instagram, but IQ of 70. It's like when you watch it, I'm like, oh my god, this is so dumb.
You
Have you
know,
seen
I've
TikTok?
never I can't, man. I've seen it. I've seen clips, like they'll post the clips on Instagram from TikTok. I'm just like, "What? I don't understand it. What is this? I don't get
I
it."
don't know.
It's
I'm like,
just
it's like I'm supposed to laugh, but I watch it and go, "Wow, you're dumb." Like it's like, "Yeah, get ready to dance." I'm like, am I supposed to laugh at this? Like, what is happening here? Like, I
yeah.
don't. It's
I
just
feel
like
old, man. I
Idiocracy.
can't keep up. I'm just like I never got into the Snapchat, Snapface, whatever the hell it's called.
Have you gone on LinkedIn? Oh, that's even worse. It's like the
Oh,
opposite direction, but fart
yeah.
sniffing your own farts. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur in the Bay
Oh,
Area. I have so
put a
many
glass over
skills. Mhm. I have so many skills, and then you're like, "Oh, where have you worked?" And it's like McDonald's and, like, Walmart cashier, like, "Hey, you're lying, I'm an entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
I made my own Wikipedia page, follow me right here,
Ooh,
LinkedIn." Yeah,
nice.
it's like some weird business version of Instagram. You know, Instagram is always, like, make you to look really good and, like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
gotta get the perfect angle." That reminds me, oh my god, there's this chick that I've met, right? And she is the equivalent of a Tinder girl lying, but on Instagram. She looks nothing like her Instagram photos in real life. Like, don't get me wrong, she's attractive, but
Mhm.
wow, like she goes through great lengths to cover up what she really looks like in person. Like she's
Mm.
getting all these like perfect angles and it's edited to make it look like her leg looks this way and it's like your leg doesn't look like your butt doesn't look like that. I was thinking, she is fooling all these dudes. And they're like, "Hey, honey." That is just like the girl I met on Tinder. She was like, just all these certain specific angles, like, no, the 2.56% angle to the left, like just getting that perfect curated, you know, no photo of me taken by someone else. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just to try to fool you into meeting them. It's like, did I just get catfished? Like, what is going on? I remember I met this one girl from Tinder and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm getting catfished. She's nothing like her photos. Even her personality from the description is nothing like her." I'm like, "God, this is just
Wow.
like that girl from Instagram, like, just totally pulling one on everybody."
Did you meet her in a
I
public
was like,
place?
"Yeah," and you know what? She is actually, she's got a great personality.
Okay.
The girl from Tinder or Instagram?
The Tinder.
Oh yeah, I met her at there's like a not Starbucks. What's that coffee bean place? Is that what it's called?
Starbucks? Coffee Bean?
No, I think it's just called Coffee Bean Tea Leaf.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh yeah, you're in Seattle, so they've killed Coffee Bean Tea Leaf. Starbucks has.
Oh yeah.
There's only Starbucks in Seattle.
Oh, then they burn it down, so no big deal.
Starbucks has gotta go.
Yeah, Starbucks and Amazon.
I was thinking, how spot on is that episode of South Park where Walmart does really well, so they burn it down, and
Yeah.
then that one coffee shop starts doing really well, and they're like, "We gotta burn it down." I was thinking, like, that's like Amazon Go. Like, you're successful, burn it down. Capitalism sucks.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya.
And Bezos just like scratching his head, like,
Yeah, dude.
what is going on?
I swear to God, the people, all those people that were rioting and destroying the Amazon Goes and the Starbucks, I swear the next day they were ordering stuff on Amazon while they went and picked up their Starbucks. Like, I kid you not.
Damn capitalism while they order shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, oh, last
Tomorrow.
night was crazy. We destroyed that place. Do you want anything from Starbucks? I'm about to run down there and pick it up. Oh, wait, we can't go to that one because we kind of
We
destroyed
burned
it.
that one.
Yeah, I'll just do the mobile order from the other one down the street and we'll go there. But I need to order something from Amazon, so yeah.
I was watching this looting video. This I was watching this looting video. This like guy, he runs into the Target, like shatters the window with like a chair.
Uh-huh.
He goes in there, and then he comes out later, like, and this girl's like, "Look at it, they're destroying this Target." And then he comes out, and he's got a Mr. Coffee in his hands. I'm like, $10. You're really willing to go to jail for that $10 coffee maker? Like, what the fuck? If you're gonna break into a Target, take something worth more than
Oh my
that.
god, the
And
coffee,
then as I
Mr.
said that,
Coffee.
I swear to God, a week later after I said that, someone broke into a Lamborghini deal. I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you're gonna risk going to jail, go big, dude.
Yep.
Like, what are you gonna throw a chair through a window for Mr. Coffee Maker? I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, they broke into the Tesla dealership in Chicago. I'm like, yeah, you don't want to do that. They can track your ass pretty easily. Yeah, you don't want to steal a Tesla. That would be the easiest
Driving it,
crime
and
ever.
all of a sudden, it's like pulling into the gas station, or not
Yeah,
that police station.
they just
Automatically,
shut
you're
it
like,
down.
what the fuck?
Yeah, they could just take over the car. And we got this nice Tesla. Oh wait, it's driving itself now, and the doors are locked. Ah,
It's got
shoot.
cameras. It's got cameras all
Yeah,
around it. It's just
yeah, yeah.
videotaping everything. You're like, oh
Yep.
god.
So funny.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine a hit and run with a Tesla? How do you get away with that?
Yeah, right.
Ooh, back to
Yeah.
do that Tesla. You drive off. Like it's gonna have so many camera angles of your tag.
Yep.
Like, oh god.
So excited to get my Tesla. Tesla.
I was gonna say. I was thinking about the whole "Make America Louder Again," and I was thinking
Yeah.
about this ad I saw. It was a Harley Davidson ad, and I noticed on there this one bit towards the end, the guy's trying to crank his Harley. He's like struggling to crank it, and his
Yeah.
wife pushes the button, and she just zooms off, and it's electric. And she laughs at him and zooms off. And I was thinking, electric Harley, and then it dawned on me, like, could you imagine being the salesman trying to sell that?
Ooh
Oh
wee.
my god! You get the guy come in and yeah, I want to buy a Harley. Like, oh, check out this new electric one. Electric. Like, yeah, check it out. It's a little bit cheaper. It's really fast. Oh yeah. Oh, where's the mold? Like, well, it's electric, so it doesn't make. Well, how am I gonna let people know I'm here? How am
Right?
I gonna wake up people at 3 a.m.? How are people at the bar gonna know I'm arriving on my sweet ride? I was thinking
Dude,
that's got to be the hardest job
you
is to
know
sell
that's
that Harley.
right. You know that's 90% of the sale is that they show them the motorcycle and then they put that key in the ignition. Are you sure? Are you still thinking about this? So are you gonna come back later or oh, I'm sold, man. Sold. Rev that thing up.
See, the street bike guys, they might actually want it because it's the accelerate. It's just
Yeah.
fast. You know, you one up people with it.
Yep.
But the Harley guys, they're not. They don't care about that 0-60 time or how
No,
fast
no,
it is.
man. They just
They're,
want that
they're
loud.
just yeah. They just want that. I'm on the
Yep.
Like they don't give a crap about dude, they will sit there and struggle if it's stalling and they don't care.
Yeah.
I saw this saw this one guy, he had this it was like a classic car. It was actually pretty good condition paint job wise. I saw it in his garage and he was like I was like, "Oh man, it won't start." So I was like, I just kept walking, you know? Literally, I came back. I walked like all the way around the block, came back and he's still in there trying to crank that car. I'm like, it's like, oh my
Uh,
god, like
it's just
like
so sad.
this is gonna be such a thing of the past.
Yeah.
It's literally gonna be like walking into a Blockbuster in the year 2020. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be like, wow, remember that?
That's like
I
I
remember.
was talking about something, but I think I was talking to you or texting you, but we were talking about like people that still spend the $300,000 on Lamborghinis and Ferraris and those type of cars, but it's still the same technology. You're paying that much money for the same technology that my $50,000 SUV uses, or that $20,000 Ford Fiesta uses.
Funny
The
you
same
say that
exact thing.
because the Plaid Model S, it's like a prototype newer Tesla.
Yeah.
They did a track time on the Nürnberg, I think it's called, in Germany. I'm pretty sure it's Germany. The car that had the same lap time as it was a $2.5 million race car. That's not even street legal. I was like,
Wow.
wow. So you can get this Tesla for like $90,000, which
Yeah.
is 10 times cheaper, more than 10 times cheaper than that car that you can't even drive on a street.
Yeah.
Like that is insane. And the main
It'll
reason for it
last 10
is
times
not
longer.
and yeah, and the main thing is just because the the acceleration from 0 to 100 because there's so many turns and twists and turns, so you're constantly having to stop and then go on
Yeah.
this track. It's a very windy track. So of course you're gonna beat that person in the Tesla by a few seconds because your your just acceleration is so much better. It's just
Yep.
instant torque. I was like, man, so this guy has got to spend $2 million to keep up with you. I'm like, that just goes to show you how like much better that Tesla is.
Yeah. It just makes no sense to me, man. Ever since I like had an awakening about it, I'm just like, I can't imagine, because before I really was like all in on getting a Tesla for our next car, I was thinking like, oh, I want an SUV. I'm looking at a 4Runner, looking at the Audi SUVs are pretty nice. And I'm just like, and then I finally was like, wait a second, why are we gonna spend, another 50, $60,000 on the same technology that we just got rid of with our old car? Why the hell would I want to keep getting oil changes, keep having to go pump gas into it, and just get the little explosions going? I mean, it's the same thing. It just, you can't hear
Exactly.
it, but
And
it's
you,
still the same
you never
thing.
know if gas is like $5 a gallon, some
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
war, the Middle East. You don't know. I'm like, it's definitely stabilized over the years, but yeah, the operation cost,
Yep.
that's really the big difference. Like people look at that price tag, but they're not thinking about the cost of the ownership of the vehicle.
And
Like
as much as they modernize the engines, you still have to have this. You still have to have the spark plugs. You still have to have the belts. You still have to have the antifreeze. You still have to have the oil. I mean, there's only so much you can modernize of the same type of technology, unless you
you know
just
what it reminds
completely
you of?
get rid of it.
It reminds you of the Terminator 2 sequel, the Judgment Day. You
Yeah,
have like the Terminator, the original Arnold Terminator. He's all like clunky and
yeah,
mechanical, and then you have like super sleek prototype, fast liquid Terminator guy.
right.
I was like, that's the Tesla. The Tesla is the
Yeah,
liquid Terminator. Like he's like no
yep,
moving parts, and he's like stabbing weapons.
yep.
Like and Arnold's all like slow and like a tank.
It's got all like the hydraulics and shit. Like, why do we have to use hydraulics? It's like the
And the
Apple
only
way of thinking. When they first came out with when they got rid of the the plug, whatever the plug is called,
oh,
because
you
that was
mean
used for
the
so long for the headphones, the old school
was
one,
it USB? The
not the
USB?
USB, the long one. I can think of what it's called. It's called something. It's where
Oh,
you
the
plug
eight
it
inch
in.
plug?
Yeah, the little plug where every phone had that for the longest time. Is like you plug your
I
headphones
don't
in
even
when
know
you
what it's called.
Yeah.
that's how quickly I forgot about it. I'm like, "Oh,
They
yeah, that stupid thing,
I
might as
remember when
well."
they first got rid of it, they on the Apple, their convention, whatever it's called. I can't remember the name. Sorry, drawing a blank.
Oh, they
Anyway,
were
they
up in
said
arms.
yeah, they said, "Okay," and they showed the technology. They said, "We're still using the same technology," and they showed the old, like, 1920s operators systems when the phone operators
Switchboard.
yeah, the switchboards, like, "Okay, let me connect you with the local police department." Okay, and they're like, "We're still using the same technology today. Why is that? Why can't we just get rid of that?" And everyone's like, "What? You can't get rid of that same plug-in for every headphone." And now what do you know? Like, you can hardly find those anymore.
Yeah,
So,
and that was fast too. It seemed
yeah.
like it happened overnight. Because
Yep.
even now, like, I'm just realizing, man, I forgot about that quick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't miss it at all.
Right. And it's just
Well,
like
even
that.
the this is gonna piss off people I know, the whole headphone thing, 'cause it definitely split people down the middle.
Yeah.
Even the lightning headphone thing, I'm not gonna miss it. I have headless. I have wireless headphones,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna miss it that much.
Yeah.
The
Me
wired
too.
headphones, that
I
is.
right. I just remember I would be working out or I would have the wired headphones and I'd be like going for a jog or something and I would catch my finger or as I was jogging, I would, the cord would be just flying around. I would almost always catch and yank the fucking headphones out of my ears. It was just so annoying. I'm like, ah,
Everybody's had that experience
yeah,
where you're, like,
cord gets
reaching for
caught on
something and you
something.
snap your head.
Yep.
Ah,
Yep.
god.
I actually had that
Yeah,
happen where I had the cord and I set my phone down and I grabbed the cord. I was using the restroom at the time and I went to grab the cord or I went to do something and I pulled the phone into the toilet using it with the cord. Oh my god. It's
you know, that reminds me of I saw this little high school concert. These older guys came in, they played that band that you absolutely love, Collective Soul.
Collective
That
Soul.
band, Collective Soul. Yeah, they were playing all those covers, right? And, he had a wireless guitar adapter. So he was playing that song that boom, 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 where the river flows, and he had like the wireless headphone or the wireless adapter for the guitar. So when he got to this certain part, he's like boom, chicka, boom, boom. He started like running around the stage and like running around all the kids.
Oh,
But he thought he
nice.
was so much cooler than he really was. Like, and we were all looking at him like, okay, dude, all right, Edge. And he was like running around like boom, chicka, boom, boom. Whoa, whoa, bros. He was like running, that part that
Yep.
that little part there. And he was running around like strumming real hard, and he was so into it. I'm like, but you could tell as soon as he got like a little far out, you could tell the quality of guitar was like diminishing. And it's like, no, 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 no. No, 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 and he came back. Where the real
Oh god.
I
I gotta stay close to the
was like,
antenna.
I was thinking Adam would have loved that.
Oh
He would have
yeah.
just been laughing. So
On
I
there.
know you told me you're not a big fan of a Collective
What was
Soul.
that? Down, down,
Well,
down, 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 when the world's so cold.
they're like the most vanilla stoner alternative rock group.
Yeah.
They're like if Kurt Cobain was 25 years older when he wrote his music. I was thinking, I don't really mind them. I think they have some good stuff.
Yeah, they do.
I like to make fun of them. I like to make fun of them. Like that one, "It's the world I knew,
Yes, that's the one.
the
Yeah,
world I knew.
that's the one I was trying to
I
think of.
woke up high and I slept to the" I can't even
See
sing it.
the world below.
They set the stage for, uh, "With arms wide
Oh
open." They really
god,
set the stage for them. Remember them?
jeez.
So Scott Stapp.
Oh, Creed.
"Run
Oh my
out of
god, man.
sunlight,
Creed was like
welcome to this
they
place."
were like top of the line graduates from the rock school, man. Like they did all like he did all the rock moves, like holding the mic in a certain way and yeah. Yep. Put your
He
foot
had
up on the amp.
wireless microphones, so he ran around people.
Yep.
Got this new wireless microphone. Can
Can you take me higher?
you take me wireless? Like singing at the Apple show.
Uh, in the
Steve's like rocking out.
yeah. Weren't they like
No
semi-Christian
more.
but not Christian band?
They were Christian for like a day,
Yeah,
and then they're like, I'm gonna make some money.
yeah. And then he got, like,
They,
really bad into drugs and, like, almost killed himself.
yeah, his life got tragic. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah,
Like, let's stick to the funny part though. Like, could you imagine him like singing at Apple like at WWDC? Can you leave the head check out? Yeah. Steve's like, yeah, 2007. Look at him.
Yep.
Yeah. Got an iPad.
What was the other band you like that does that so much? Godsmack. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can actually imitate him, but it hurts my voice to do it. Um,
Doing the
there
best
are all
I
these
have
other
can. I'm doing the best I can.
I'm actually am a real singer. I
Yeah,
just I don't wanna do his voice 'cause it hurt. It's really rough.
Trevor's good.
But he does that. He does that. I
Yeah,
stand up
yeah.
inside. He's like gets like really into it. I'm like, oh,
That hurt me.
and not too loud.
No, no, I'm just saying that's the you can feel the strain.
Yeah, it's inside. He does that. He does that. Then he changes his voice to everything is faded. Like,
Yeah, some of these
it's almost like a
guys though, I don't see how their voices are still like around, man. Like Slipknot, Corey, what's his name? Corey something.
oh my god.
I like
Have you
Slipknot
seen
a
his
lot.
neck?
Man,
Have
yeah.
you seen his
Oh
neck?
my
He's
gosh,
got a
yeah,
thick neck.
yeah.
It's like a thigh.
But yeah, he could scream too. Like,
Yeah.
wow, how can you talk at all?
Shove my fingers into my eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, he's yeah.
I dig Slipknot.
I don't know how they do it.
They've grown on me a lot over the years.
They were the only thing I don't like about them, and I hate to say it, but they started that fad of wearing the mask with the jumpsuits.
Yeah,
Oh god, every band copied them.
yep,
It's like, "Oh, just stop it."
yeah,
Like, everybody had the same mask, the same then they started doing the same gesture. I'm like, they were it was I went to this thing called Rockville in Jacksonville, Florida.
uh-huh.
It's, uh and they had Stained, they had POD, "I feel so alive for the
Oh, yeah.
very first time." And, like but then they had every little band, opening band, looking just like Slipknot.
Oh god.
I was so sick of it by the time Slipknot actually came on stage with those jumpsuits and masks. I'm like, "I don't care anymore."
Just not into it.
When they came out when they came out with this was in 2011.
Oh, yeah.
Then they came out with, Stone Sour. I was like, "Oh, thank God, he's just wearing a t-shirt now, thank
Yeah.
God. Let it go,
Should appreciate
jumpsuit."
should appreciate
So I was gonna uh, before we, end this episode,
Yeah.
I was watching, Predator, and I was watching, I was like, this movie just, like, flips on you halfway through. It just totally changes into a different movie. Have you seen Predator,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah. Good
So,
movie.
halfway through the movie, it's like this fun mercenary action movie,
Yeah.
and then right at the halfway mark, it all of a sudden becomes a sci-fi horror slasher with
It
the
really
Predator trying
does.
to, and it just flips. And it reminded me of that movie Dusk Till Dawn with George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That movie does the same thing too. It's like this, like, crime thriller thing going on, gritty, and then all of a sudden, you're in a vampire movie. I'm like, "Whoa," like, I was thinking, there's not a whole lot of movies that do that, and I was thinking, what if more movies did that? Could you imagine, like, you're watching, like, The Notebook with your girl, you go
Yeah.
for the first time, take her on a date, "I'm gonna watch The Notebook." Fine, you're just like, you're sitting down, you're watching it, you're about 45 minutes in. "Oh, oh, Rachel McAdams, I love you. Oh, it's so romantic in this sleeping bag in this cabin." And then the camera, like, leans over like Ryan Gosling's head and then pans zooms through a window and you see Jason in the woods with like a machete. Like
Wow.
all of a sudden it's like Ryan Gosling like trying to fight Jason.
What had happened?
Notebook.
I
The
think a lot
Notebook.
more guys would have gone seen it. Been okay with it.
Like the Notebook, the final
Yeah.
chapter. Like you're like, whoa, this is great. And then your girlfriend's getting pissed. She's like, this is not what I wanted to watch. And it's like all of a sudden like blood and guts and like,
Why are they not
yeah.
loving each other anymore? Oh,
I was thinking too, like another movie would be great is in Dumb and Dumber
yeah.
when they're in the cold and they're freezing
Oh yeah.
and Harry, your hands are freezing. What if Jeff Daniels actually murdered Jim Carrey there, and the movie just turns into like a fucking like
It's
a
like a
serial
cover
killer thriller. Yeah, yeah. And he's like, "Shit, I got this money." And then it becomes like a 48 hours detective story. Like you have like all of a sudden it shows Matthew McConaughey in like a detective suit. You know what I mean? It
they,
just becomes like a whole nother movie.
they flip it to like a
That'd be
Weekend
so
Bernie's thing, and he's trying to carry around Lloyd's dead body.
like,
He's still around. Look, he's just sleepy.
it's like moving his mouth and everything. And Jim Carrey's doing his little shtick. Or Jim Carrey could spot Harry cheating on him with that girl. I can't remember the name in the movie. The Anyways, you could see her, and then he's like, "I got to kill them." And he's like stalking them, and like a Harry, like he's like scraping a knife, like his performance in The Cable Guy. He's coming after him, like you could just totally do that in a bunch of movies where you just totally change halfway through. I was thinking too of you can come in like Dumb and Dumber this summer.
Yeah. Totally changed the entire aspect of the movie.
So that would be, I was thinking too. Another funny one was, like in the Matrix when Neo gets woken up and he's on the Nebuchadnezzar, right? What if it was
Yeah.
like a road trip boner comedy to Zion? Like it just becomes like this. We gotta go in the Matrix and save Morpheus, and like you got like Agent Smith slipping on a banana peel and shit. Like it just becomes like this boner comedy. Whoa, whoa,
Oh man,
oh my
that
god,
totally
man.
messed up everything.
Like halfway through, it's just a totally different movie. Like what the hell? Like I was expecting
Turns into Bill, Bill and Ted.
Bill Ted's.
Ted shows up. Bill, what are you doing in the Matrix? I don't know, Ted.
I don't know. We need to fight Agent Smith.
Rock on, dude. Are you going to see that one? The new Bill and Ted?
Oh yeah, we talked about it. I think. Yeah,
I think it looks pretty good. I'm into it.
Studios, they're gonna release it. I think direct streaming, so they must be feeling pretty good about it.
Yep.
I think it will. It probably make a good amount of money. It might break a streaming record.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll pay.
It's gonna be like a member berry thing.
Dude, I'll pay $20 to see it.
Yep.
And it
For sure.
Yeah, and I was like, and I found out Alex Winter, he had cancer, and I was like, oh, I might have not gotten this movie. I was like, he might have, could have possibly died. And I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He just got over it, I think. And I was like, well, at least like good thing he's still here, and we can have something.
Yeah, he looks good too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Keanu, he's so endearing. Have you seen that gaming convention he was at? There, like some guy yelled out, he's like, "You're amazing!" And Keanu immediately goes, "No, you're amazing." Like points at him. I was like, that is so Keanu. Like he's so endearing, and he's the guy like, you would go gay for. Like Keanu, or Elon. I'm gonna caress Keanu's hair.
He's your crush. Yep.
he's
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he's just so freaking cool. Like that dude. There's always this caveat in my brain, like the motorcycle guys, and I always remember Keanu rides the motorcycle. I was like, okay, there's some of them that are cool.
I think it's a different kind of motorcycle though. He's more into like the Triumphs and
they're like the European ones, aren't they? More
yeah, the Triumph. Yeah, that's the only one I've looked at that I'm like, I want a Triumph. If you ever look at it, you'll be like, oh yeah.
They're the more the
Triumphs.
They're
Those are
the more sit up straight kind of motorcycles.
Yes.
Like the Harley, you kind of
a
little bit lower and a little more closer to gravity to the ground. The Hayabusa sport bikes, you're more like leaning forward, like you're getting and then the one you're talking about, you're more like sitting in like a chair, like you're just like sitting in a regular chair.
I'm gonna send you a picture. This would be the bike I would get if I was gonna get one. I'll send you the picture right now. And send. Yeah, it's like totally not the like, oh, I'm a badass with my motorcycle. This was just like, I just want to cruise around the city and see cool stuff and do whatever. It's like
this guy's not like cutting you off and driving weird. This is just, I like motorcycles.
You got it.
Yeah, that's a sweet bike. Yeah, it's definitely that Tom Cruise-esque motorcycle. That's what Tom Cruise likes.
That's the one I would want if I was ever to get one. So until
That's more of
it's
a
like a
classical motorcycle, if that makes any
yeah,
sense.
yeah, it is.
That classic body style.
Yep. It's got the same like that look of the old school kind of motorcycles that you see like guys cruising around the cities, New York and stuff.
You could totally like paint that green and have Harrison Ford ride it, and Nazis try to chase him down in it.
I won't be accepted in any motorcycle gangs or anything like that, so I'm good.
But you do gotta. I always notice the guys who ride these types of motorcycles, they always wear brown leather jackets or black leather jackets,
Yeah.
plain
Oh,
black leather jacket, pitch
yep.
black helmet, and
Yep.
they wear pitch black gloves. Like they usually wear all black, but like it's more of like a stylish nightclub black. Like I'm going to on a
Yeah.
date later. Like you know what I mean? Like I seen Keanu riding it. He pulls up on it. I was like, he's wearing exactly what I expected him to be wearing on this
Yep.
motorcycle. Like,
Kind of like beat up boots. Yep.
yeah, some brown like leather beat up boots
Yep.
with like dark blue jeans. It's very what's his name? James Dean. Like that kind
Yep.
of vibe, like classical cool guy.
I could pull it off. I'm a classical cool kind of guy, I would say. And if I get that, put a baby seat on the back of it.
Are you gonna have like a redhead handlebar mustache?
Yeah,
And little what are those things on the arms with the little tassels?
yeah.
You're gonna look like a Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You're gonna have that big old mustache. Yeah, riding my Harley.
Riding my tramp. My tassels.
Your little redhead, little handlebar mustache is gonna be blowing in the wind. It's gonna be really long.
Oh, that's good
Oh my
stuff.
god. You're gonna be riding it. You're gonna hit that song, how's that song go? Damn, this episode's gonna get copy striked so many times. It's
Yep.
the world I knew.
Yeah.
You're gonna be listening to that, you won't be listening to that. You'll be listening to that song, Born to be
Yeah,
Wild.
yeah.
And like the
Yeah,
mustache. Dun, 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 riding on the highway.
looking for adventure. Yeah.
Even Keanu's in my way. Keanu is in my way now. And so he's like cutting you off.
Never mind the baby. On my motorcycle.
You're gonna actually hear the song really good because it's gonna be an electric one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be louder than the motorcycle itself.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I could just see it now with your little tassels and your baby in the back. I was thinking before we go, I have one more
Yep.
thing I wanted to add. What do you think your baby's gonna look like?
Amazing. It's got my DNA and Renee's DNA. It's gonna be beautiful.
So to our audience out there, we love South Park, and Adam is married to a black
Yeah.
woman, and Adam
Pretty
is
white.
a
Pretty
white
white.
guy. And I always think of that episode of the
Oh
Goobacks
God,
episode
yeah.
of South Park. Everybody in the future is just a mixture of races, and I was thinking like, is this baby gonna look like one of the Goobacks, like bald and earrings and wearing a futuristic
Oh God.
spacesuit
I
like
hope
50 years
not.
from now?
Oh jeez.
And it was, but I was like, you know what? That's actually probably spot on. Matt and Trey are spot on with their like
Yeah.
commentary because like the world is getting incredibly
Yep.
globalized. Like people are traveling everywhere. Like if you go to Vancouver, Canada, you would swear you're in China, like by the architecture and the people walking around you, or just the restaurants. There's so many great Chinese
Yeah.
places there. If you go to the Bay Area and you go down to
Yeah.
Chinatown, you really do feel like oh wow, this is like I feel like I'm in another country almost. Like it's a crazy like the amount of like crazy cool like
Yeah.
Chinese architecture. And I was thinking like that's how it's gonna be like everywhere. You're gonna have like a little white guy America in like Japan or something. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna go
The cities
to
that like,
Japan,
you know,
right?
on the coasts and everything. Like Midwest will kinda
Yeah,
keep
you're
it.
gonna go
Yeah.
visit Tokyo, and some Japanese guy is gonna direct you to like a little white guy town. You're gonna go there, and you're gonna hear music. It's the world I knew. And you're like, yeah, I like this place. It reminds me
It's
of
called Little
home.
America.
Little
LIL
America.
America.
Well, ah, dun.
Welcome to Little America.
It's gonna have an In and Out with like 40 people in line. You're like, God dang it, this is right too. Ah.
It's American food right here.